Good afternoon. So as my trips out and about locally have been a bit sporadic over the last week, not enough to do one vlog of each thing. So I'm going to add everything together to make a weekly roundup of the, not Crossness, but basically Bexley, right up to the edge of Bexley Borough and maybe just slightly over. We got 6 raptors, just wanting the magic number 7, the red kite. Why'd you say 7? Because that's about it. You will not get anything outside of the 7. So I've had the peregrine falcon, the hobby, my local hobby, which I've stopped going to a few days ago, but did see at the beginning of the week. Common buzzard, marsh harrier, sparrowhawk, common kestrel. And yeah, like I said, would have been nice to top it off with a red kite. Yeah, the peregrine falcon, another one, it wasn't the Crossness one, it was somewhere else. There are going to be a few places here that I can't reveal, locations of birds. So for obvious reasons when you know the species. And the peregrine falcon, I can do the ones here at Crossness because they're relatively far away. This other peregrine's a bit lower down. As you can see, I filled the frame quite easily, so I can't really go around telling anybody about that. And yeah, while I was here one day, all the birds took off, and right, okay, look up. As I've said before, always look up. That means there's a raptor about. And I saw the dark bird coming in. I got a couple of really rubbish pictures off. It flew over there, went under the bridge, up onto the railing, and zoomed in from the distance I could get it, and it was a sparrowhawk. And I set myself up hoping it would come back out, and waited and waited and waited, looking for it to do a bit of filming because I got the photo off quickly, and then looked back, it was gone. So I waited about 5 minutes, and then all the birds started taking off again, and there was a black bird gliding over. Went, right, that's it. And I thought it's flying a bit slow. So got a couple of pictures off. Marsh harrier, what are the chances? And it was that slightly orange head, which means it's a juvenile, and it was flying from south to north. And I followed it over and watched it sort of kick off some birds on the other side. It flew over to the north side by the Ford factory. So that was a very unusual. I've never seen any fly over the river like that. Usually I've seen a couple go by on the reserve. Yeah, the reserve is always good for the kestrels. I've got a couple of them hovering. And as I went around the side of the horse paddock, I saw something perched on a fence, and not close enough that I could tell what it was. And I'm having those sort of heart palpitations that it might be the short-haired owl that somebody saw. I think was it last year somebody got one rubbish sort of, sorry, it's rubbish because it was from an iPhone, rubbish photo of an short-haired owl sat on a fence post here, and then it was gone. And I just keep hoping it's going to be my moment that happens. But it was a kestrel around the back of the horse farm. I'm always looking around where the horses are because you can't really walk around there. So I always make sure to have a glance over because there are several fence posts there, and it's got to be good hunting ground for all sorts of flycatchers and things like that. Why wouldn't wheatears and Whinchats go around there? They could do. Yeah, because one year the horse stables had a couple of wheatear running around on the top of them. So yeah, just always check that area. I mean, we can only look so far into it, but you can have a glance around and use your tuned birding eyesight. I was going to show you all the teal that were feeding along on this mud here. One of those dirt bikes went through very loudly and everything just went up in waves. Something we just have to contend with down here. Yeah, along these green barrels where, and obviously some sort of separation or cleaning's going on, a feeding ground for pied wagtails. At the moment they're all along the concrete pier there. I'll swing you around slowly so we don't make you dizzy. Yeah, they're all sitting on there, all the pied wagtails, but this is a favourite spot of theirs. They'll get on the top and call, and then they'll jump down to one of the levels and go along there just collecting bugs to their heart's content. I've had a look out here. There were some redshank, common redshank, which haven't been showing up at the outflow for several months. They seem to like it here outside of the winter season, and you wouldn't think there were any redshank at all at Crossness, but they are here. Looked a bit further up, there's several godwit, black-tailed godwit, and down there are several common sandpiper. If you went to the outflow, it would look like there was only 1 or 2, but most of them seem to congregate the bigger group up here. Never understood why we don't get like the green sandpipers or anything else. Pectoral would have been nice. I mean, I got also a few days ago, I got a sparrowhawk chasing a starling. You don't know what the call of what bird it is. You just know something is terrified and flying for its life. And sure enough, you know, the darker, bigger bird chasing. And yeah, so maneuverable, those sparrowhawks, compared to smaller birds. They really do keep up with them. It went over a building. I didn't see if it caught it. Well, that was a bit awesome. I was going to say raptor number 6 was the common buzzard that I saw this week, and I'll show you some really rubbish flight footage going off into the tree line, as it usually does off south and just against a white-out sky. And as I was coming in the gate, I saw a big brown bird flying over to the tree line. I'm pretty quick on my reflexes there, filming. I had it ready, set up, and I caught it just landing on a tree. That's a great bit of footage, you know. And while it was sitting in that tree, I filmed it for a little bit. Then what I did is I zigzagged closer to see how close I would get. I got about two or three attempts sitting in the tree. I was trying to move to the left because, as you can see, most of it was obscured by a diagonal branch. So I was trying to work my way to the left, and then it took off and flew. You got 2 or 3 usable seconds of that. You know, a brown bird in low light against trees, very difficult, but the camera managed it okay. And then it landed in its usual spot. It likes to land, or there's a couple, I'm sure there's a couple here, likes to land in one of the trees over there. I saw it disappear behind one of these bushes and all the wood pigeon take off. So I got close to the fence and moved closer and closer, and I got a little takeoff as it flew off into the background. Oh, what a little touch, you know, because it was embarrassing. That bit of footage of the buzzard I had was rubbish. So that's some of the best. Yeah, that wouldn't have happened if it was sunny. This grey meant there was very little heat haze. You can see a little bit of rippling in the footage. So yeah, the other things to catch up on was yesterday was informed about the location of some Firecrest in a wood, so pop down there and listened out, and once you know what they sound like, you can hear them a mile away, and using a very slow shutter speed and firing off 100 plus shots, I managed to get a couple of usable ones. No video, forget it, not happening. It was standing still for about 0.32 of a second. That's a quite nice shot, if I do say so myself. But undoubtedly the stars of this week, we're back. Look, I looked for them when I came through first, but I had to make the river before the high tide and didn't see them. 2 Whinchat were spotted here. I spotted the first one earlier in the week and got some video of that. You've probably seen the little vlog I made of it, my first Whinchat of the autumn. And then a couple of days after that, a wheatear arrived, and I got them both on the same post. And I got loads of great footage of the wheatear. Yeah, thanks to my trusty tripod that I lean against. I don't put the camera on it because it can't be done that quick, and it can't take that kind of weight. It's just for stabilizing my left hand, the far end of the camera, and it really does make a big difference. So lovely footage of Whinchat and the wheatear, both female, I believe. And apparently there were 2 Whinchat today, so I'm going to walk around this the old mini horse paddock and see if they're on any of the posts. So if not, yeah, that's a good roundup of everything I've seen. 6 raptors, wheatear, Whinchat, Firecrest, common sandpiper, pied rag. Oh, nearly forgot. Yeah, as well. The bush over there was popular with the Whinchat, and when it jumped out one day, I have seen this bird a few times. I didn't know what it was because it was too quick, but it came out. It was a common whitethroat, and just gave me, you know, quite a nice little bit of sharp footage. I was quite happy with. Moving further up the tree until it flew away. Yeah, so that was great to see them still around, because most of them have gone. I think that might be something I better check out. Anyway, if I don't get it, I hope you enjoyed this weekly update, this weekly vlog. So I did get the Whinchat. Now I've been looking up because somebody said male, and that doesn't look dark enough, and it might just be what's called an immature male. There was a tiny speck of a bird on a tree in the distance, and I looked through and it looked very, very light, and I panicked because I thought it was some sort of life force, super rare. I want that moment, and checking up, it's probably just a immature female or very immature male. But yeah, good to get one of the Whinchats before leaving. They are still here.